Hi everybody, how you doing? I'm Paps, a rising VTuber and an artist, and today we will be doing a little bit of character design. So, I realized that I needed some people to fill out a background in one of the comic pages, and I'd really rather not do that on the fly. I pulled it off once, because I recycled two character designs that I already had. But this time I wanted to be a little bit more focused. So this time I'm going to take a different approach, and I'm going to try and theme some of the characters this time around after like a specific concept. So the one that I'm thinking of today is that I'm going to hang on. I'm going to theme them after a small denomination currency, particularly pennies. A penny is a coin or a unit of currency in various countries. Okay, the Carolinian denarius, hence its former abbreviation .d. It is usually the smallest denomination within a currency system. At present, it is the formal name of the British penny and the de facto name of the American 1-cent coin. Huh. It's weird. I always thought that pennies were... Maybe it's because in Ecuador we call them centavos if it's just the single cent. Hey, Leo, how you doing? But yeah, usually we just call them centavos or cents, but I guess you could call them pennies in English. Just a coin, I suppose. Due to inflation, pennies have lost virtually all their purchasing power and are often viewed as an expensive burden to merchants, banks, government mints, and the public in general. That's a bit hard. Isn't it? Just ate an entire pizza. I was overcome by greed and now I'm paying for my sins. Oh yeah. One of those eating sessions where you just can't move afterwards, right? We've all been there, honestly. I'm not even joking. We have all been there. We've all had a situation where we were like, I bet I could eat this entire thing. You know, like you don't go into it expecting to eat the whole thing, but like once you're 3/4 of the way through, you're like, well, I might as well. You know, it's not going to be worth it to just reheat these few slices. Penny is also the informal name of the 1-cent unit of account in Canada, although 1-cent coins were removed from circulation in 2012. Really? Withdrawal of low denomination coins. Alright, I am... This is a fascinating angle, right? Because like my idea was to make a bunch of, a bunch of delinquents or hoodlums that were based on small denomination currency. Can't move, not even an inch. But if I trick myself into thinking I'll be getting dessert, that I will be back to normal, full of life. It's all about the mental game, truly. I think there is wisdom in that. But yeah, the withdrawal of a country's lowest denomination coins from circulation may either be through a decision to remove the coins from circulation, or simply through ceasing minting. we out of 1-cent coins. The Swiss 1 Rappen coin, last minted in 2006. Let me read out a little bit more about this. A Rappen was originally a variant of the medieval Pfennig, or penny coin, common to the Alemannic German regions of Alsace, northern Switzerland, and southwestern Germany. Its half piece was a haller, the smallest piece which was struck. What's half piece? Hang on. Half piece. When I decide to read the abridged version of One Piece. That's gonna be like that's gonna be One Piece Kai. The Heller, abbreviation HLR, was a coin originally valued at half a pfennig that was issued in Switzerland and the States of the Holy Roman Empire. I kind of like the logo on this one, honestly. I like that it's a hand. It was as early as 1189. Ooh. The Hellers were gradually so debased that they were no longer silver coins. That is pretty funny. Universally, they seem to have like some kind of hand motif, although it does seem like they also have... Oh, okay, so this one is from 1863. Okay. Austria-Hungary. Huh. Yo, this one's got a bear on it, though. Never mind, I can't do this. I'm going for a walk, but I will be lurking. BRB plug, please. No problem. Enjoy your walk. Let's see. On the A33 motorway of the north of the Woonenburg-Haren interchange is the motorway services station of Letzterheller. In earlier times, there was an inn nearby. After the residents of the surrounding villages had done their shopping in Paderborn and returned to the villages on foot, they paused halfway at the inn and spent their last heller. That's pretty fun. Ooh, I like the bird insignia on this one. Due to the coin's wide circulation in the Upper Rhine region, it was adopted as a standard currency in the so-called Rappenbund, a union of regional mints formed in 1399 that included the Bishop of Basel and most of the region's larger cities. After the dissolution of the Rappenbund in 1584, a number of Swiss states continued to mint Rappen within their territories, where they remained in local use until the middle of the 19th century. Okay, so Albania had something called a kindarka. Albanian lek. First lek, second lek, or is that yek or lek? No, it is capital L lek. Let's see, exchange rates, commemorative coins. The 1 lek has not been officially withdrawn. Centimeters, un centavo in Argentina. 10 luma in Armenia. 1 and 2 cent coins from Australia, which were withdrawn in the 1990s. The Bahamas had a 1 cent coin too. Production of the 1 cent coin ended on January 31st, 2020. 1 cent coins remained as valid coins for use until 30th of December 2020. Were accepted for full redemption from the partner banks at the central banks of the Bahamas 30 through June 2021. The Bangladeshi taka is the currency of Bangladesh. I like its sign. And I like how swoopy it is. Okay, this looks cool. Okay, I think this isn't a bad place to start, but I feel like it is missing some kind of focused interest in terms of just what we can derive. So I did actually have the public domain image archive pulled up. Wait, hold on. What is... Take a look at this dude here. Morning visited from a creditor concerning the boots. Being in debt was once an artful promenade. The process of eluding creditors through disguise and deceit. Huh. How unusual. Okay, so let's look up coin. The issue is that a lot of these pull up those fancy-looking katana signs. Or katana handguards that we looked at last time. And also whatever the hell this is going on in this image. I'd rather not dwell on that too long. How about instead currency? Okay, these are electrical currents. Oh my! Okay, can't dwell on that too long. How about... Do we have like a search history? Crown... Tail, finance... Let's try crown. What was going on in crown? I forgot when I looked that up. Hard crown and mirror. Philistine, matchbox spirit, and the crowned poet. That might be interesting. Oil lamp in the shape of a crown and cockroach amulets. From Nouveau Livre de Différentes Cartouches, Couronnes, Casques, Supports et Tenons. Astaroth. Mammon. Parable. Oh, hey, I remember this guy from Bloodstained. Wait, does that mean that they have like the whole collection of demons from the Ars Goetia here? Although Jacques Collin de Plancy's Dictionnaire Infernal, a monumental compendium of all things diabolical, was first published in 1818 to much success, it is the fabulously illustrated final edition of 1863, published, which is, 30-ish, no, 40, at least 40 years later, which secured the book as a landmark in the study and representation of demons. Ed Simon explores the work and how at its heart lies an unlikely but pertinent synthesis of the Enlightenment and the occult. Okay, they don't have everything, but they do have a few big ones. Like, they have Beelzebub. And they have... What's going on with this guy? Amduskias. Honestly, bro's kind of just chilling. This has kind of got it on, though. I like the peacock feathers. Yeah, what's this about? The Philistine, Matchbox Spirit, and the Crowned Poet. Built for his son from the scraps of daily life, matchboxes, beef boxes, nutshells, and plaster, Paul Klee's hand puppets harbor ghosts of human feelings, fragile communications from a world most adults have left behind. Kenneth Gross compares these enchanted objects to angelic figures. In Klee's artwork and the poetry of Rainer Maria Rilke, helping us dance as well as wrestle with their visions of innocence. These are kind of cute, actually. Hang on, what else we got in here? This guy kind of looks like El Santo. We also got this one here. I think out of all of them, my favorite is this one on the left. But we're kind of getting away from our intended goal. Spends a day seeing what sport or other activity these demons are physically suited for. I mean, Bale kind of looks like he works out of the library, so I don't know what his deal would be. Astaroth is no question, though. That guy was built for equine sports. Hang on. Chinese, coin, crown, currency. Actually, I think I did have something under Chinese that was useful. That or the patterns in it were very, very interesting. I think money also helped us helped a lot in terms of finding something useful. No? Okay, how about finance, tail, coin? Maybe just coin? No, okay, we're out of luck on this one. What is this about, though? Looking at times like some kind of strange fusion of vestigial abstraction and tetras, these wonderful color charts are taken from Color Problems, a practical manual for the lay student of color, a book by the American artist Emily Noyes. Following her ruminations on color theory, she represents 117 plates featuring color analysis of various crafted objects, such as Assyrian tiles, Persian rugs, Egyptian mummy cases, but also things from the natural world, including a stone and butterfly. Ah, I see what it is. Well, I see what she's cooking. These remind me a little bit of this one game called Blendoku. I don't know if anybody's seen that game. It's a very interesting game where they give you a color palette, and you have to arrange the colors in the correct order to make a smooth gradient. It's quite nice. But yeah, Coins of Knossos. William H. Matthews' Mazes and Labyrinths, published in London in 1922, is itself labyrinthine. A vast and richly illustrated encyclopedic portrait of these mysterious phenomena across time and space, from the Minotaur of Crete to the greatest cathedrals of medieval France, to the stately homes and nuclei of England. This is kind of awesome, actually. I'm a big fan of stuff like this where, I don't know, there's something just so immensely appealing about a labyrinth. You know, like it's just a big structure that you're supposed to get lost in, that it's very difficult to tell forward from backwards. Ooh, this one looks interesting. Oh, this is like a hedge maze or something. Maze designed by Batty Langley from New Principles of Gardening. It is kind of fascinating to approach it from that perspective. Gardeners are now the #1 most informed career in labyrinths. Creating a reincarnation isekai where a tile gal becomes a pixel artist. Honestly, that would kind of go hard. One of these doesn't look like the other. Labyrinth, thus Graffito at Pompeii. Oh, this is from Pompeii. Huh. What's this one? Labyrinth assigned by L. Liger. Liger is kind of an awesome last name. But yeah, why... These coins, right? Do we have an explanation for what that's about? Well, opening the book, one of the first things the reader finds is the dedication to the author's daughter Zeta, whose innocent prattlings on the summer sands of Sussex inspired its conception. The preface reveals the nature of her prattle, a question as to who made mazes first of all. Towards the end of the book, we are shown photographs of beach mazes made for Zeta to explore. Photographed before she'd discover them and make them invisible. Okay. It sounds like they never ended up finding the source, the kind of main origination of mazes. But it is interesting to see that these coins from Knossos have some kind of maze pattern to them. I forget what they had conjured into thought, but I had been wondering who they would cast as the Goblin King apparel to the role if they made a sequel or remake to The Labyrinth, the David Bowie movie. I have that movie on DVD. I still haven't seen it yet, though. I should do it at some point. Hang on. Knossos. Okay, a Bronze Age archaeological site in Crete. You should. I'll get around to it at some point. Knossos is dominated by the monumental Palace of Minos. Unlike other Minoan palaces, this complex of buildings serves as a combination religious and administrative center, rather than a royal residence. The earliest parts of this palace were built around 1900 BC in an area that had been used for ritual feasting since the Neolithic. The palace was continuously renovated and expanded over the next 5 centuries, until its final destruction in 1350 BC. Okay. Do we have any mention of the coin? A coin of Knossos, depicting a labyrinth. Okay, here we go. The identification of Knossos with the Bronze Age site is supported by the Roman coins. Oh, okay, nope. Catalog of the Greek coins of Crete and the Aegean Islands. Do we have access to that? Hell yes, archive.org, my beloved. How many pages? 275 pages is kind of a lot. I don't suppose we can have a rundown of the pictures in this book, right? I know that sounds rather rude, but we are kind of in a hurry here. Harry Styles simply does not have it in him. Where do we look for pop stars to dream of as sexy evil kings? That's a good point. A lot of male pop stars are very explicitly what you would call pretty boys, but they don't have the kind of fairy likeness of the kind of fey attributes that David Bowie had. Like, that man looked like he could sprout wings and start fluttering around and dumping glitter wherever he went. You don't get that a lot these days. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot here in terms of visuals of what we're supposed to look at. What is this even supposed to be? Axis, silver. Head of Apollo, a large tripod. Is this some kind of dictionary or something? Hang on, let's jump to a random page. Okay. Oh, here we go. Kings and tyrants. Magistrates on it, names on imperial coins. Here we go. Some of these are pretty hard to make out, but this is the one that we were probably looking at. Yeah, these are all coins from Knossos, which have that labyrinth stamped on them. Is 2D Gorillas the inheritor of David Bowie's enchanting head trauma-induced heterochromia? God. I do think that it would be fascinating if a VTuber showed up in a in a modern movie. I think we're ready for it. I think we're ready to have that kind of audacity. You know, where a sort of kind of Mary Poppins-ish situation where there's just like a very awkwardly rigged bouncing anime person who is also interacting along with the main characters. I think we're ready for it. It's not going to be done well, but I do think we're ready for it. But yeah, the coin from Gnosis is very, very strong in terms of... Oh, you're not supposed to see that, I don't think. Did I actually tweet the Go Live announcement? I do think I did. Okay. Let's put this in the canvas. Alright, and I think we've gotten all that we can out of the public domain image archive. There's not a lot related to coins. But that's fine because Whoa, what is this? Mosaic Susa Tunis. Damn, these guys on a ship are not gonna have the greatest time on Earth. I think this is supposed to be like the what do you call the not the library, the fucking the labyrinth at Creed with the Minotaur in it. All right. These are really cute, though. I like what these look like. They're kind of freaky, but in a very endearing way. You know, it's kind of like off-putting and weird in the sense of like a handmade object. Like these are very much kind of scary, but because they were so clearly made with love, it's very endearing. Surprisingly. Anyway, because I realized we might not get a lot of results off of the public domain image archive, I pulled out a secondary source, the Smithsonian Open Access, where you can download, share, and reuse millions of the Smithsonian images, right now without asking. With new platforms and tools, you have easier access to more than 5.1 million 2D and 3D digital items from our collections, with many more to come. This includes images and data from across the Smithsonian's 21 museums, 9 research centers, libraries, archives, and the National Zoo. So yeah, frequently asked questions. Actually, let's take a look at the frequently asked section part of this site. Okay. What is open access? And the zoo. Fuck it. Get the zoo in here. Okay, and this one is also Creative Commons 0. This is also the one that is used by the Public Domain Image Archive, I believe. Okay. CC0 only applies to copyright, so that you may still need someone else's permission to use a CC0 designated digital asset. Huh. Terms of use. Ownership of the content. Okay, owns the compilation of content on the websites. This does not mean that the Smithsonian owns each component of the compilation. Okay, using the content. 2 categories for use. Content with Creative Commons 0. Okay, CC0 content. You may use content marked with CC0 for commercial purposes without further permission. Other content usage conditions apply. The Smithsonian does not guarantee that all content marked with CC0 icon is free from rights held by third parties. While you do not need the Smithsonian's permission to use this content, you are responsible for obtaining any third-party permissions that may be required for use. For example, a third-party may claim rights in content such as a trademark, privacy, or publicity rights. You are fully responsible for your own lawful use of these materials, and for not infringing on the rights of third parties. Okay. But it sounds like most of these is not particularly important. Or not that it's not important. It's more like it's... Wait, hang on. Check this out. Look at this fucking guy. Description. In the late 1860s and 1870s, a faction of the Democratic Party, now known as Tammany Hall. I remember those guys. They're from New York. Yeah, New York City politics. The notoriously corrupt machine was led by boss William Tweed, who ultimately ended up in prison for stealing millions of dollars from city contracts. Part of the scam involved the creation of Tammany banks to embezzle funds, which caused a run on the banks in 1871, as Tweed's empire came crashing down. This object satirizes the seemingly unending corruption of political machines such as Tammany Hall. Oh, would you look at that? Hang on. Let's take a look at what it actually says. Tammany Bank. Okay, yeah, I see. And I'm guessing the... It doesn't look like it's a normal coin bank. Where would you insert the coin? The inside of the chair, the cute little corrupt piggy bank. God. That is actually pretty funny. What if during the Theranos scandal, they suddenly had piggy banks that looked like Elizabeth Holmes? Elizabeth Holmes was the one from Theranos, right? Hang on. Or what if like they had the executives from friggin' Enron? Okay, yeah, Elizabeth Holmes was the Theranos person. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch this movie Hundreds of Beavers. That's why I've got it open on this tab over here. I've heard that it's very funny. I mean, it looks pretty funny. What the hell is it? What is this dude doing? It's a dude in a beaver costume with a knife. Okay, let's see. What else we got in here? Coin box. Admission coin to Women's Welfare Exposition. Ornament in the shape of a coin. Coins on simulated alligator skin. What else we got in here? Patent model of bed and platen printing press. Kisi iron currency. King Charles III of Spain. French Manila golden nugget. Huh. These seem to show up a lot, these bracelet-looking things. Venetian glass trade beads. 2-slot postage stamps. Let's see, what else we got in here? These are all plants. What's up with that? There's a lot of plants in here, actually. Peace metal trade token. Mail O Mat postage meter and collection box. That's kind of cool. Calendar medal relating to Emancipation Day. Pretty cool. $50 Oni tag. A bill bouquet. Ooh, a balance. That might be a good idea to have one that's based on a scale. What about money? Money calorie, money calorie. What is a money calorie? The object is part of an education and outreach collection, some of which are in the Curious Science Education Center and available to see. Right, but what... Oh, it's like it's a shell. Huh, okay. Balance. The patent model for Henry S. Cochran, new and useful improvements in sales for weighing bullion, coin, and etc. U.S. Patents 205354. Cochran was a weigher at the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. The H. Tromnet Filad inscription indicates the firm that made the model. In 1893, Cochran confessed to having embezzled gold bars worth $134,000 from the Mint vault. Not smooth, man, smooth. Okay. Menus plaisirs du Roi Versailles. Narrow post at the top of the stick inserts into the larger hole at the bottom of the ball. Okay, so this is just a toy. What about this one? There is no information that reveals when, where, or from whom Oni received this coin. The $50, minted in Philadelphia, has not one, but have 4 holes drilled into it. Trade token. Culture, collection history, auction venue. Doesn't really have a description here. A strand of red, white, and blue striped beads hung on cotton string. Beads are round and vary in size. Some cylindrical shaped beads are found near cotton tie. Okay, how about looking up the glass bead currency? Trade beads, here we go. Trade beads are beads that were used as a medium of barter within and amongst communities. They are considered to be among one of the earliest forms of trade between members of the human race. Huh, okay. Slave beads were decorative glass beads used as token money to exchange for goods, services, and slaves, hence the name. That's not very nice. The beads were integrated with Native American jewelry using various beadwork techniques. Trade beads were also used by early Europeans to purchase African resources, including slaves in the African slave trade. Cool. That's terrible. The practice continued until the early 20th century. Why is the slavery thing before the history thing? I feel like that should be a subsection of the history thing. Alright. Made to ease the passage of European explorers and then traders mainly across the African continent, the beads were made throughout Europe, and although Venetians dominated production, archaeologists documented in 2022 that beads manufactured in Europe continued to accompany exploration of Africa, using indigenous routes into the interior as recently as the late 19th century. Okay. Maybe we should stay away from these ones in terms of character design. I feel like there's going to be a lot of implication to that we're not going to be able to sufficiently discuss. Manija. Okay, I see. So these are currency. The currency is called Manija. Or Manila. Hang on. Yada yada yada. Okay, I don't think we're going to be needing this page. Manija. Topics refer to... Here we go. The bracelet currency of West Africa. Usually made of bronze or copper, which were used in West Africa. Currency that can be strung up is very nice, but I do imagine somebody somewhere had their day ruined when a string snapped and one is forced to face the reality of how tiny their currency is. God. Imagine you're like you're going bead for bead with some other Italian motherfucker on a beach, and both of you accidentally lose your beads to the ocean. Like they get lost in the sand, and you and your posse have to spend the whole day sifting them out of the sand. Mamma mia! Hang on, let me take a quick drink. Let's see. Manijas continue to serve as money and okay, there's no pronunciation guide for these ones, so I'm going to keep using the kind of Spanish pronunciation. Manijas continue to serve as money and decorative objects until the late 1940s and are still sometimes used as decoration on arms, legs, and around the neck. In popular culture, they are particularly associated with the Atlantic slave trade. Okay, this one might also be out. Okay, yeah, no. Manija is said to derive from the Spanish for a bracelet manija, the Portuguese for hand ring. Okay. Bears some resemblance to torques. Africans of each region had names for a variety of manija, probably varying locally. They valued them differently and were very particular about the types they would accept. Manijas were partly differentiated and valued by the sound they made when struck. Trying to find a European alternative currency that doesn't have ties to slavery challenge. It sucks! Slavery was so pervasive. It's really not... It's very dark as a topic. The other day I was reading about serfdom, right, in the medieval age, and then I read about slavery in the medieval age, and oh my god, I had my head in my hands reading the whole article. It is such a dark topic that was so the most baffling thing was how common it was across all the cultures at the time. It was really bad. The proliferation of African names is probably due to more regional customs than actual manufacturing specialization. The Mkoro is likely a Dutch or British manija, and the Popo is French, but the rest are examples of a single evolving Birmingham product. Okay. An important hoard that had a group of 72 pieces with a similar patination and soil crusting, suggesting common burial. There were 7 Mkoro, 19 Cob round foot, 9 Cob oval foot, and 37 Popo square foot. The lightest Cob in the hoard were 108 grams and 114 gram, but while they are routinely found under 80 gram. This implies that the group was buried at a certain point in the size evolution of the manija. Mkoro are made of brass. The weight correspondence of the oval foot Cob with the high end of the round foot range suggests that it is either the earlier variety or contemporary with the earlier round foots. I'm having a hard time reading. I'm having a hard time understanding this. I can read it easily enough. Probably not with great pronunciation, mind, but... Demise and revival. Native currency proclamation of 1902 in Nigeria prohibited the import of manijas except with the permission of the High Commissioner. This was done to encourage the use of coined money. They were still in regular use, however, and constituted an administrative problem in the late 1940s. The Igbo tribe still used them prior to this, and wukai, a deep bowl of corn, was considered equal to one large manija, and a cup-shaped receptacle filled with salt was worth one small manija. Although manijas were legal tender, they floated against British and French West African currencies, and the palm oil trading companies manipulated their value to advantage during the market season. The British undertook a major recall dubbed Operation Manija in 1948 to replace them with British West African currency. The campaign was largely successful, and over 32 million pieces were brought up and resold as scrap. The manija, a lingering reminder of the slave trade, ceased to be legal tender in the British West Africa on April 1st, 1949, after a 6-month period of withdrawal. The people were permitted to keep a maximum of 200 for ceremonies such as marriages and burials. Only Okpo, Okombo, and Abi were officially recognized as they were bought in at 3D, 1D, and a halfpenny respectively. A metal dealer in Europe purchased 2,460 tons of manijas, but the exercise still cost the taxpayer somewhere in the region of £284,000. Internally, manijas were the first true general-purpose currency known in West Africa, being used for ordinary market purchases, bride price, payment of fines, compensation of diviners, and for the needs of the next world as burial money. Cowrie shells, valued a small fraction of a manija, were used for small purchases. In regions outside of the coastal West Africa and the Niger River, a variety of other currencies, such as bracelets of more complex native design, iron units often derived from tools, copper rods, themselves often bent into bracelets, and the well-known handa, all served special purpose monies. As the slave trade wound down in the 19th century, so did manija production, which is already becoming unprofitable. By the 1890s, their use and export economy centered around the palm oil trade. Many manijas were melted down by African craftsmen to produce artworks. Manijas were often hung up over a grave to show the wealth of the deceased, and in the Dekema area of Benin, some women still wear large manijas around their necks at funeral, which are later laid on the family shrine. Gold manijas are said to have been made for the very important and powerful, such as King Jaja of Opobo in 1891. Let's check out the drip. Alright, he's kind of got that shit on. I like the hat more than anything. Founder and first king of the Opobo Kingdom in present-day River State and Akwa Ibom State of Nigeria. Originally belonging to Igbo ethnicity, he was initiated into the Ijaw people during his time in Boni. I like this statue. Okay, what else we got in here? Grivna, a currency as well as a measure and weight used in Kievan, Ruzes, and other states in Eastern Europe. Sure, okay, why not? The Kisi penny. Oh, these are related to that Kisi rod that we saw earlier. Medium of exchange. Commodity money. Axe money. Okay. salt as currency. The shekel, or barley. Shells, okay. Precious metals, Domestic animal, money, bailment, banknote, movable property, check, clearing, clay token. Promissory note, redemption, safekeeping. Types of jewelry, coins, economic history of Portugal, Atlantic slave trade. The grivna was a currency as well as a measure of weight used in Kievan Rus and other states in Eastern Europe. Okay. Obsolete units of Russian units of measurement. Wait, hang on. Let's take a look at this guy. Awesome. I think I read this one at some point, and this is kind of how I learned how to measure a hand span. I found that my hand span is like between, okay, so if you spread your fingers far apart, like you have your palms splayed, and you measure the width between the tip of your thumb and your pinky, you can actually use that to measure stuff pretty easily. I found that mine is around 20 centimeters long, so that's kind of my hand span. So that's been very useful to just measure things at a moment's notice. Iron currency made in Sierra Leone that circulated widely in the immediate vicinity of its production amongst Bandi, Gola, Kisi, Pel, Loma, Mandinka, and Mende, and other people of Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea-Conakry. Okay. Thanks to the trading and nautical activities of the people of the region, especially the Kru, Kisi pennies circulated widely among the coasts of West and Central Africa. Historical records do not note the use of this currency before the last years of the 19th century, and they are continued to use money gradually until replaced by colonial currencies. Okay. Even after they were discontinued for use as currency, Kisi pennies continued to be employed in the society of the region, as tokens of completing rituals in the Poro and Sande societies. Also to be placed on tombs and graves where they were believed to channel the souls of the dead. At some point, the currency acquired spiritual aspects, perhaps because of its use in graves, and as a result, when a penny broke, it was considered without value until a Zoe, or religious practitioner, repaired it in a special ceremony. It was this feature that led to it being called money with a soul. European travelers regarded them as a curious form of primitive money, and as a result, many were collected and deposited in museums. They continue to be sold in art and curio markets, as well as among numismatists to the present day. Numismatist? A specialist, researcher, or well-informed collector of numismatics or coins. Or numismatics. I see. Training and recognition, organizations, list of scholars. Okay, interesting. Tell me about this axe money. Also in Spanish, tajaderos refer to bronze artifacts found in western Mesoamerica and the North Andes. Based on ethno-historical, archaeological, chemical, and metallurgical analyses, the scholar Holster, Lechman, and Holm have argued for their use in both regions, which are separated by thousands of miles through trade. In contrast to naipes, the bow tie or card-shaped metal objects which appeared in the archaeological record only in the northern Andean coastal region, axe monies are found in both Mesoamerican and Andean cultural zones. More specifically, it is argued that the system of money first arose on the north coast of Peru and Ecuador, in the early 2nd millennium CE. In both regions, bronze was melted, likely by family units, and hammered into thin, axe-shaped forms and bundled in multiples of 5, usually 20. Okay. Anda, compatriota! Ecuador-Mexico trade. It is known through early Spanish accounts that native Ecuadorians used balsa rafts fitted with sails to travel along the northern Andean coast to trade. Indeed, the first king of Lambayeque, where axe monies are known to have been manufactured, is said in ethno-historical accounts to have arrived in the city by raft. The Chincha of Peru and Manteño of Ecuador in particular are good candidates for the origin of many of these traders. Furthermore, there is solid archaeological evidence for the trade of spondylus shells. Ooh. which can be gathered from the Gulf of Guayaquil in Ecuador and the Gulf of Mexico, in the Andean highlands during the Chavin culture. Furthermore, contemporary accounts from the Balsas River in western Mexico report that the fathers and grandfathers of local men had traded with canoe-borne traders, who sometimes spent as long as half a year in the area. However, there is as yet no firm archaeological evidence of the presence of either Ecuadorians in Mexico or vice versa. Alright, interesting. Bullet money. Knife money. Spade money. They got money out of friggin' anything. History of metallurgy, currencies of Ecuador. Known in Thai as patuang, were a type of coinage historically used in Siam and its predecessor kingdoms. They were almost exclusively made of silver in the form of a bar bent into a rounded shape and stamped with certain marks. Patuang were issued according to the baht system of weights, known among Westerners as the tikal, which is the basis of modern Thai currency. Okay. There's really not much information on these, huh? Are they called that because they resemble bullets, or because they were used in bullets? Ancient Thai coins shaped like a grub. Brother said, you look like a bug. 1 baht, King Ramatibordi's reign. Patuang? Okay, this one says that it's shaped like a grub. So it doesn't seem to be exclusively related to being bullet-shaped. Like, it's shaped like a bullet, but it's not actually used as bullet. It's not made from bullets. Okay, cool. Knife money. Cast bronze knife-shaped commodity money produced by various governments and kingdoms in what is now China, approximately 2,500 years ago. Knife money! Knife money! Actually, I know that in China there is a sort of, coin sword. Here we go. Cash swords are a type of Chinese numismatic charms that are a form of feng shui talisman, primarily used in southern China to ward off evil spirits and malicious influences. These coin swords were often used in Taoist rituals. Coin swords are now considered an evil warding sword in China. Qing Dynasty era cash coin, specifically from the Kangxi and Qianlong eras, but may also be made from older cash coins. So yeah, here we go. Surprisingly sturdy looking, isn't it? Becoming a knife thrower to flex my abundance of wealth. That was the equivalent of having one of those supreme money guns back in the day. Okay. Large cast bronze commodity money. Okay, yep. There are many stories that attempt to explain how knife money was introduced, but it is not certain if any or all are true. In one of the stories, a prince who was running low on money to pay his troops allowed them to use their knives as a form of currency to barter with villagers, and the medium became so popular that it became generally accepted. In another story, the same prince began accepting knives as payment for small fines in place of the current legal ring money. Qi knives. These large knives are attributed to the state of Qi, and are found in the Shandong area. Needle tip knives. This type of knife money is distinguished by their long pointed tip. Do you have a gallery? Hordes of knife money. In 1906, it was reported by the Toledo Blade that a number of knife coins dating to the Warring States period were unearthed in Luanping County, Hebei province. Among the hoard were also a number of other items, including kitchen utensils, bricks, tiles, bronze mirrors, agate beads, cotton cone, and copper coins. My hoard of spatulas and knife money. In the year 2012, a Chinese villager in the province of Hebei, digging a well in his yard, had unearthed a large cache of knives and spade money, which was dated to the Warring States period. The hoard included 98 specimens of knife money and 161 specimens of spade money. This was the first major hoard of ancient Chinese coinage from this era that had been unearthed in Laiyuan County, Hebei. Both the spade and knife money from this board were attributed to Yan. The hoard includes both square-foot spades and pointed-foot spades. Okay, but there's no real... I mean, this one is pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, they seem to have This very specific shape, at least. Commodity money. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hudson Bank Company tokens. Acts like Grivna from Koskowice, Poland. 9th to mid-10th century. Okay. Let's take a look at the shekel. What's that about? Okay. Doesn't really have much in terms of, like, captivating pictures. What about these ones? Grishvuna was a measure of weight mainly for silver, commonly used throughout medieval Central and Eastern Europe, particularly in the Kingdom of Poland and Kingdom of Bohemia. Okay. Did we also have, like, spade money? Here we go. Also from China. Commodity money used during the Zhou dynasty of China. Spade money was shaped like a spade or weeding tool, but the thin blade and small sizes of spade money indicated it had no utilitarian function. The earlier versions of spade coins tended to have a fragile, hollow socket reminiscent of a metal shovel. Later versions of spade money had the socket transformed into a thin, flat piece, and over time, inscriptions were added to the spade coins to mark their denominations. Several versions of spade money circulated across the Chinese Central Plains during the Zhou dynasty period until they were abolished by the Qin dynasty in favor of the Banglian cash coins. Okay. Guangzhou Mint. 2 spade coins and dozen mounds were discovered at Guangzhou Mint. These were attributed to have been produced between 640 BCE and no later than 550 BCE. The walled and moated city of Guangzhou itself was established at around 800 BCE, and its foundry, where bronze was cast and beaten into ritual vessels, weapons, tools, opened around the year 770 BCE. Excavations occurred between the years 2015 and 2019. Hao Zhao claimed that it wasn't for another 150 years that workers at the Guangzhou foundry would also begin to mint spade coins outside of the inner city's southern gate. While other research had dated coins from the Kingdom of Lydia to have been created as early as 630 BCE, he notes that the earliest mint known to have produced Lydian coins dates to sometime between 575 BCE and 550 BCE, which, if true, makes the Guangzhou Mint the world's oldest known mint. Meanwhile, the proposed date of 650 to 500 BCE, based on ceramic typology for the minting, remains from the foundries of the Xiantian and Jinzheng sites, remains conjectural and has never been confirmed by the radiocarbon. What are you talking about? I feel like I'm losing the plot. But yeah, okay, spade money. Okay, and the Rappen coin made by the Swiss one Rappen coin. This one has a bear on it. This is Theranos. Okay. As a measure of unit of exchange, the Krakow Gryzwa was equal to 48 Prague Groschen. I'm not too familiar with Eastern European currency. These just look like normal coins. Bullion coin, debasement, hawala. Popular and informal value transfer system based on the performance of honor of a huge network of money brokers. Metalism, private currency, shell money. Value of money, tally stick. A tally stick. Spondulix is 19th century slang for money or cash. More specifically, for a reasonable amount of spending money. Spondulix, Spondulix, and Spondulix are alternative spellings, and Spondulis is a modern variant. Huh? Bringing this back in 2025? Fuck no! No, we are not. I mean, I feel like this has. It's kind of difficult to. We already have enough slang for money, you know. You have cash, you have dough, you have bands, you have like latas, you have green stuff. Hang on. This one looks like it's going to be a fire paragraph, actually. According to the Cassell Dictionary of Slang, the term can be traced back to the mid-19th century in England. In the July 1852 edition of the Water Courier Journal includes gossip from Indiana by a Hoosier, which complains about spending our spondulics. In Meister Karl's sketchbook, Charles Godfrey Leland includes it in a long list of synonyms for money. The magic spell of the ready, otherwise known as money, cash, tin, stuff, rhino, root of all evil, blunt, wherewithal, rowdy, funds, stumpy, pecuniary, dibs, hard browns, heavy, mopusses, slugs, shiners, lucre, or filthy, dust, gelt, chips, lumps, mint drops, pewter, brass, horsenail, rocks, brads, spondulics, needful, dough, spoon, buttons, dimes, or the infallible. And there's also greenbacks, of course. We have a lot of words for money, huh? Informal value transfer system. Operate outside of or parallel to traditional banking, financial channels, and remittance systems. Huh. Money is transferred via a network of hawala brokers or hawaladars without actually moving money. According to the author Sam van Vaknin, there are large hawaladar operators with networks of middlemen in cities across many countries. But most hawaladars are small businesses who work at hawala as a sideline or moonlighting operation. The process operates as follows. Sending money, providing instructions. The sender provides a code or password to the sending broker. This token serves as a key for the recipient to receive the money. The sender informs the recipient of the token either directly or through a different channel like a phone call or, more recently, electronic messaging. The sending broker contacts another hawala agent, the receiving broker, located in the recipient's area. They inform the receiving broker about the money to be transferred and provide the token necessary for the recipient to collect the funds. The recipient approaches the receiving broker, who disburses the transferred sum to them, usually after deducting a small commission. I see. Okay, so it's almost like web banking, but through more analog means. That's pretty interesting. Certainly it'd be useful in a society without internet. Pre-internet times. But I think we got a few useful references here, actually, by this time. What about Zambia? The problem, I know that it's very impatient to just like hyper-focus on whether an article has pictures, but in this case, because we are trying to pay attention to that, there's a half-cent coin? Why? Well, there was a half-cent coin, and why is because in those days, half a cent got you much farther than it did today. A farthing, a halfpenny, or 1/2 penny. 10 old para. 1 cent, 1 millime. 1, 5, and 10 satang. Yeah, okay. I think we have pretty much all we can use in terms of interesting currency that we have found online. Real quick, is there anything else that we should pay attention to from the Smithsonian Open Access? There's another Manija. I've done it. For the first time since I've owned Clip, I've completed getting all the Clippies. Congratulations! You've worked hard. I hope you can put them towards some exciting stuff in your asset library. I've actually got a few of mine burning a hole in my pocket. But I don't really have anything that I need just yet. 3D models are probably a good investment. Whoa, check this guy out. Just get the same brushes I just get the same brushes I already own. That's valid. They all look the same. God. Sweatshirt worn by Michael Holman. Alright. Okay, that's money. What about currency? Okay, that's that Kisi Iron currency. More manillas. Optical instruments. The 10-cent Washington original model. And also the 5-cent Franklin original model. These are just postage stamps. 5-cent model, Benjamin Franklin. Frame on thin card, hand-drawn in pencil in black ink with a light black India wash. Vignette is the original currency engraving removed and mounted on a thin card. Oh, this is what shows up on... Wait, what? I was gonna ask, is this what shows up on the currency? Whatever. It says that there's a couple of 3D models available. What's that about? Jar made by Dave. Gymnasium suit, 3-piece. Okay, what about coin? Conus textile. The 1903 rightful... Why is this under coin? I mean, no, don't get it twisted. This thing looks kind of awesome. But how is it under coin? Hang on. After winning the toss of a coin to determine which brother would make the first try, Wilbur took the pilot's position and made an unsuccessful attempt on December 14th, damaging the flyer slightly. Bro. What a fumble. Yeah, I'm sure that airplane shit didn't work out for them ever. All right, I'm gonna take a quick drink of water. Wait, hang on. There's a little bit more after that. Okay, repairs were completed, and a second attempted on December 17th. At 10:35 a.m., the flyer lifted off the beach at Kitty Hawk for a 12-second flight, traveling 36 meters. 3 more flights were made that morning, the brothers alternating as pilots. The second and third were in the range of 200 feet. With Wilbur at the controls, the fourth and last flight covered 255 meters in 59 seconds. With this final long, sustained effort, there was no question the Wrights had flown. As the brothers and others present discussed the long flight, a gust of wind overturned the Wright flyer and sent it tumbling across the sand. The aircraft was severely damaged and never flown again. Sometimes life really kicks you when you're down, huh? They built refined versions of the flyer in 1904 and 1905, bringing the design to practicality. On October 5th, 1905, with the brothers' third powered airplane, Wilbur made a spectacular 39-minute flight that covered 39.2 kilometers over a closed course. Hey, that's pretty good. But okay, yeah. What's this? Although often identified with the Asante, the most numerous and best known of the Akan peoples, weights for measuring gold dust were made and used throughout Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. For more than 5 centuries, from about 1400 to 1900, Akan smiths cast weights of immense diversity. Their small size made them portable and easy to trade. Each weight was cast individually in the lost wax method. What resulted was a unique piece, but one that had to be a specific weight to function. The shape or figure of a weight did not correspond to a set unit of measure. The porcupine in one set could equal an antelope in another, or a geometric form in a third. For important transactions, gold dust was placed on one side of a small handheld balance scale, a weight on the other. Okay. Visually, weights fall into two distinct categories, geometric and figurative. I'm guessing this one was among the geometric. Very interesting, though. I'm rocking with it. Oh yeah, Michael Holman. A black sweatshirt used by Money Mike. Ah, that's why it showed up. Promoter for the New York City Breakers. The sweatshirt had the sleeves and necklines cut away. The front of the sweatshirt had a white pressed-on letters that read Money Mike. The letters for money have been colored over with black marker. Is that true? Can we see that in the picture? Oh my god! It totally says Money Mike! And in the back it says NYC Breaker. Breakers with an apostrophe. That's pretty interesting. Michael Holman, huh? Who was he? Let's take a quick look. Wait, was it with one L or two L's? One L. Is it this one? I think it might be this one. Bachelor of Economics degree, dancing at a disco. He got recruited into a theatrical rock band called The Tubes. Gray band, film and television. Hip-hop impresario. He was the third writer to use the term hip-hop in print, following Robert Flipping and Carlos Davis. He had different hip-hop TV shows around 1982, which were performance shows of graffiti artists, DJs, rappers, b-boys, and b-girls. Ah, mira tú. Hang on. Money Mike. Are an African hip-hop production and songwriting duo from Los Angeles, California that consists of Money Mike and Jay Keys. Huh. Dang, these guys have been pretty active for a while. Although it looks like the last one was in 2022. What else we got? Object details. Fairbanks Scale Company. Produced by Fairbanks Company, the U.S. Post Office Department coin scale for gold and silver. Okay. Coin box. Not much to say. Admission coin to Women's Welfare Exposition. Also not much to say. Ornament in the shape of a coin. Collection, previous, custodian. Not much information there. Oblong rounded corners and sides featuring an overall ground of simulated alligator skin. Oh! Ah, okay. I see. Front features $quarter coin on lower right with an American eagle inscribed United States of America, smaller coin on the lid at upper left. I see. So this is just kind of like a novelty item. Is this a lighter? No, it's a match safe. I see. Hey, and here's that iron currency from earlier. Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to use the Manijas. The Kissy iron currency at least doesn't have much implications in terms of the usage during the Atlantic slave trade, so that's a bonus. And here's another scale. This one was made by that dude who embezzled a ton of money. Okay. I think we have enough information to start making some dudes. Okay, so this other one is going to be a... Hang on, copy image. Copy that. Then what else we got? We have the Kissy iron currencies. We actually spent quite a lot of time researching stuff. But I feel confident that we can make some interesting looking people based on these. Okay, we had the Kissy Penny, we had the Axe Monies. Representing South America, thank goodness. I'm wondering which one of the bullet monies that I should use. Weirdly enough, I feel like this first one was the one that I like the most. Okay, this one's gonna be knife money. I'm not gonna use the Grisvna, that one that looked just like an iron rod, because that one's a little bit boring looking. And we also have the spade currency. And for good measure, the coin sword. Right on. So yeah, we got the one that's the Gnosis coin, the scale, the Kissy currency. Okay, I think the best way to do this, great decision to do this character theming. I do think that it was a good one. You think of money very frequently, and the fact that they're like... How do I put this? They're supposed to be like a mercenary group, so I think it makes sense that they are motivated and themed after money. Alright. I think a good way to ideate on what each one's kind of narrative purpose is supposed to be is to make them... is to use the five-man band structure. If you've never heard of that before, good. That means you haven't looked at TV tropes in your life. But basically, it posits that there are a... How do I put this? There is a trend in character groupings to have 5 types of people. There are the kind of leaders, there's a leader of the group, the second in command, the emotional support, the brainy one, and the brawny one. So I think the brainy one is going to be the one that has the labyrinth and the scale. I think the one that's going to have... Okay, let's see. Does the iron rod one have any kind of other... No. Okay, let's make the iron currency the kind of emotional one. The axe money can go to the big guy. The bullet money and the knife money and the spade money. I think for this, I think the issue is that we have... Okay, the brainy one, the second in command, and then the leader. I think the leader should be the one that has the different... Because the coin sword, the spade money, and the knife money are all Chinese inventions. So I'm going to give that to the leader of the group. The one who's calling the shots. And then finally, the bullet money can go to the second in command. This is good too because it's a very multicultural group. Okay, so for the brainy one. I think because of the coins of Knossos, I think it is good to make them kind of Greek-themed, maybe? Hang on, I had an outfit idea. Hang on, blah, blah, blah. Where is my... I had an outfit... Remember when I was trying to make a summer outfit and I actually made one that is based on a toga or something? This is the one? Yeah, here we go. What's that? Yo, it's that dude from Marvel vs. Capcom. Okay, what's this? Unknown. What's this? Nope. Where is... Is this the one? Okay, yeah, no, here we go. Alright, I think the one that was mostly based on Greek stuff was this one here. Or alternatively this one here. The one that is based on a Khiton. So maybe... I don't know which one of these speaks to me the most for like a brainy character. I made these for me, and while I'm certainly pretty smart, I wouldn't exactly call myself the brainy type. I am very smart, it's not my defining character trait. Okay, let's go with this more top one. It's good to recycle after all. Yeah, I might go with the first draft for these guys, but the main idea is to have a kind of concept in place. And for this guy, let's have the color theming be like leaning towards yellow. That's something that I've been noticing recently, is that I don't make enough effort when I'm designing a character or trying to ideate on a character. I don't think about the colors while I'm designing the character, which is actually really bad. The colors are extremely important, and when I leave them to the last minute, I actually end up struggling quite a bit. So let's think about this with the idea that it's yellow. Okay, so just kind of spitballing my idea here. Okay. I definitely want to make them like a more spindly looking one. Or actually, maybe I could give them a little bit more beef too. But yeah, usually you don't see a lot of like fat and like brainy characters, right? Let's try to mix it up a little bit. That being said, the kind of like must have for like the intelligent characters is to have glasses. So I think we can incorporate that a little bit. What if we make this kind of swirly? No, I was gonna say, what if we make this swirly labyrinth pattern the frame on the glasses? But then I realized I would have to draw that in every frame where like their eyes are visible, and I think that would make me rather miserable. Okay, so maybe not the big glasses. But maybe, yes, whatever's going on with this guy's hair. Hmm. We could give him a nose ring to make him look more like the Minotaur. I think that might be an interesting idea, is to make him a little bit cow-themed. Or very loosely cow-themed. Fucking big old chin. I'm kind of in love with the idea of giving him these eyes for real. I started putting these in as a joke, but I actually think they look really good on him. And the big chin is also really working well. Okay. I forgot how Kitons actually worked. This one's a little bit loosey-goosey, but basically, from what I recall, it is just basically one big thing of cloth that you just wrap around your head. It's like a poncho, but with clothespins. Oh, that might be a little bit grossly reductive. The way this is hanging off the body doesn't look very appealing. Maybe we need to go for a more angular shape. These are very finely printed, though. I do think that they were this coin minting must have been pretty advanced in order to make them that look that good. Hmm. I think this guy's weapon could probably be a scale as well. So I think what's going to happen is that maybe he has like a very hunched back, and he rests the back on that hunch. He rests the scale on that hunch. This arm is a little bit fucked up. Hang on. Just gotta turn the shoulder a little bit. I do think it is the shoulder, actually. Hang on. The current anatomy of this arm is absolutely not correct, but I do really like the idea of just giving him huge underarms. But yeah, the other one was a little bit excessive. This is good enough. Should I give him more eyelashes? He's got kind of a funny looking face. Or actually, hang on. The hand would be facing the wrong way here. It'll look a little bit more like this. And then... kind of like this. We can shift this back a little bit while we're at it. Yeah, maybe some kind of tripod back there. It's kind of hard to draw hands kind of resting at the sides. I never relax ever, so it's kind of hard for me to imagine what a relaxed person's pose looks like. I think I'm gonna give him some kind of large boots. I feel like there's not enough to show that he is supposed to be the smart one, though. Like, not a lot of this design screams like brainy. Maybe we could cover his eyes, actually. That looks really good, but now it's starting to look more like the brainy character. Or less like the brainy character and more like the brawny character. Okay, then put this over here. Maybe we could give him a beard. Everything that I can add to him just makes him look less and less the intellectual type. You know what I could give him, actually? A secondary toga. Fuck it, one toga's already pretty good. Why not two? I feel like two toga, the double toga makes it look more like a philosopher character rather than just any old random Greek dingus. Or rather, any old random dingus from ancient Greece at the very least. Actually, what I could do to give him a more intelligent look is to make these into, like, pantaloons, actually. Actually, hang on, this might go insanely hard. Like these kind of riding crop shoes? Or, stirrup shoes, I mean. Riding crop is a different thing. They're both related to horse dressing, though. Dressage, I mean. I am I am fucking up my horse linguistics. This is karma from yesterday's stream where I beat up a bunch of horses for their golden weapons in Bloodstained. But yeah, this definitely gives a more brainy vibe because of the fact that it looks like much more. It looks more like dandy clothing than just ancient Greek guy. Hang on. What I could also have in addition to the secondary toga, or actually maybe should I think I might nix a secondary toga actually. No, but he needs something in front of him like that. Something across the chest like that would be a great idea, I think. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's going to be 1, 2. Hang on. 1, 2. And then there's going to be 1. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm trying to understand how to draw a simplified labyrinth pattern, but it's not going well. Okay, so the cross is crucial. That creates something here. And then the other one is this one. I see. Does it make like a complete closed loop? That's so weird. Yeah, this is already a little bit complicated. Maybe like that. Maybe up here it kind of turns in on itself. I think I can draw that without wanting to perish horribly in a dumpster-related incident. Actually, maybe I could give him just tight. Oh, yeah. The tiny glasses are... This is the tag. This is the... This is how we're doing this. Very, very tiny little glasses. Gotta have them. And at the other end of the thing here, I'm going to have a little record book that he keeps. He's literally balancing the books. I will say, none of these guys, even though this guy is supposed to be the quote-unquote smart one, I think none of the characters in this team are going to be particularly bright. Like, they can do intelligent things, like, they have basic intelligence, but they're not... I don't think they're going to be like the scholars of the modern age, by any means. Hmm. Okay. Should I put it smack dab on his chest there? I don't know where else I'd put it. I could put it on the top part of this thing. That'd be a great idea. That would make it a very interesting look once we... That means I would never have to draw it fully and it would just be there. Okay, yeah, that can work with that. This is actually a much better version of the simplified logo. Now I'm just imagining, okay, this almost looks like a badge that he has on him. Actually, hang on. I'm going to add a second badge there, so it looks a little bit almost like it's an office badge. This guy should have low key accountant vibes. So I think having something like that would make it look much more office like. But yeah, having this badge here, I kind of want to make this dude from I want that to mean like there's a bank out there that just has a labyrinth in place of like a security system. If you go into overdraft, you get fed to the Minotaur. On the bright side, that technically means you don't ever have to pay overdraft fees. Alright, I like that. Let's put that in the art folder. Alright, so that's gonna be the brainy guy. Then we have the kind of emotional one. These were from a particular... These were used in a lot of different African countries. But it looks like it was mostly made in Sierra Leone. Do we know what the classical dress is for people from Sierra Leone? Hang on, demographics, culture, tourism. Culture would be pretty good. Rolaco, radio listener. Food and customs. Fresh mate. Wait, hang on. Along the streets of towns and cities across Sierra Leone, one can find foods consisting of fruit, vegetables, and snacks such as fresh mangoes, oranges, pineapple, fried plantains, ginger beer, fried potato, fried cassava with pepper sauce, small bags of popcorn or peanuts, bread, roasters' corns, or skewers of grilled meat or shrimp. You could make some decent scran from that. Pollo is a popular Sierra Leonean drink. It is a sweet, slightly fermented palm wine found in bars in towns and villages across the country. Pollo bars are areas of lively, informal debate about politics, football, basketball, entertainment, and other issues. Rice is the staple food of Sierra Leone. Ooh, very nice. The rice is prepared in numerous ways and topped with a variety of sauces made from some of Sierra Leone's favorite toppings, including potato leaves, cassava leaves, crane, okra soup, fried fish, and ground nut stew. Sounds good. Media in Sierra Leone began with the introduction of the first printing press in Africa at the start of the 19th century. A strong free journalistic tradition developed with the creation of several newspapers. In the 1860s, the country became a journalist hub for Africa, with professionals traveling to the country from across the continent. Oh. Hang on. There's a couple of interesting pictures in here. Let me pull up the webpage. Orale masked by the Temne people. Brooklyn Museum. The Koindu Dance. Arts in Sierra Leone. Tourism. Demographics. Ethnic groups. I think that'll be a good one. 16 ethnic groups, each with its own language. The largest and most influential are the Temne, around 35%, and the Mende, around 33%. The Temne predominate in northern Sierra Leone and some areas around the capital of Sierra Leone. The Mende predominate in southeastern Sierra Leone. Okay, so what about the Temne people? Predominantly found in the northern province of Sierra Leone. Okay. The language is the same as their people. Okay, cool. Migrated from the Fouta Chalon region of Guinea, who left their original settlements to escape Fula jihads in the 15th century, and migrated south before settling between the Colente and Roquel River area of Sierra Leone. Oh, okay. Ooh, these figures are really cool. I like the contrast with the white beads and the. Is that stone or what is that? The earliest mention of Temne and other ethnic groups of Sierra Leone are in the records of Portuguese finance explorers such as those of Valentim Fernandes. Bai Bure, a Temne chief who led a war against a colonial hut tax in 1898. Society and culture, social stratification. Oh. Huh. Traditional farmers. In contemporary Sierra Leone, the chiefs are elected. Do they have any information about the clothing of these people? Hold on, stir-fried okra looks really good. Okay, well, we'll have to just give them ethnic agnostic, I guess, clothing. But yeah, these. I don't know. They look like. Let's take another look. Okay. Wednesday, an iron currency made in Sierra Leone. Used iron as trading goods and standard of value for a long time. Iron quality was extremely high. Prices compiled in the early 20th century, for example, put the cost of a cow at 100 bundles, while bride price might be 200 bundles, and slaves, while the domestic slave trade was still working, might sell for 300 bundles. God damn it! Okay. Tokens of completing rituals in the Poro and Sande societies. Oh, these are for secret societies. Huh, how about that? Money with a soul, huh? Okay, so maybe this one is like a more... I want to say... I want to think that this one is the one who is like an expert at metalwork or something like that. Because I feel like the fact that these are... Like all of these... A lot of these are made out of money, right? Okay, not out of money. They are made out of... They're made out of metal. Hold on. I just opened up the article for art in Sierra Leone. This mask looks hard as hell. I especially like the way that the hair has been textured up here. Okay. Sanda is a woman's initiation society. The Sanda Society initiates girl into adulthood rituals, including feminine genital mutilation. Oh. Let's click away from here. Nomoli stone carving of a man holding a crocodile. Huh. The prominent modern artistic expression involves the design and floating of lanterns down the river in Freetown, the capital of the country. From 1961 to 1991, the Young Men's Muslim Association, YMMA, held competitions where various different civil groups would design large floats, often with lights inside or outside, in celebration of Ramadan. Oh, that's nice. Are these all made from stone? That would probably end up being pretty heavy. Hmm. Well, this one says that it's ivory, and this one is very clearly stone. Clothwork. Used in many of the different groups in Sierra Leone to provide special types of protection. Specific designs for spiritual protection of the wearer. Hmm. The problem is that they don't give much more information than that. Whatever we make here is going to be pretty surface level. But yeah, I think... Hang on. Fine metalwork jewelry tools. Like, what would be the name for, like, handmade jewelry? Hang on. Handmade jewelry... Wikipedia. Yep. Assembled and formed by hand rather than through the use of machines. Handmade. Wire wrapped. Paper, wood, resin, crocheted. The Beers Awards. Lapidary clubs? Promote popular interest in lapidary, the craft of working, forming, and finishing stone. Ooh. Okay, okay. Now, this could be something. Lapidary, huh? Hmm. Medieval lapidaries. Tumbling, cabochon cutting, and faceting. Inlaying, safety. That does put it at odds with the fact that these are supposed to be iron and metal made, right? Handmade. Okay, hang on. The image for handmade jewelry items is pretty nice. I like the one with the hearts here on the right most of all. Although it does also look the most fragile. So I think these are going to have to be in a bundle. Actually, we could make this one be more heart-themed, actually. These do almost look like Cupid's arrows. Okay, let's do that, actually. Alright, we'll make this one an archer. But besides that, I don't really know what I would do for that. Hang on. Mend the traditional clothing, maybe? Okay, these seem to be mostly robes. Which makes sense. Not to critique the fashion sense of cultures I'm unfamiliar with, but robes seem to be like a pretty big mainstay. Pretty much anywhere you go, wherever the weather is hot. Okay, so maybe a little bit of like an intersection between the robes and the Cupid arrows. So I guess this one's color, like driving color, is going to be pink. Is that kind of pinkish enough? I think this one is looking more towards the pink that I want to use. But yeah, I have an idea for... I kind of have an idea for the silhouette here. Hang on, copy image. This is the image that I'm using as reference for the clothing. So yeah, partly this guy on the far left and this one second to the right is the one that I'm kind of using as my basis. I do kind of want to give him hard glasses, honestly. That does... I feel like this could look like a very... I feel like the intersection between having the robes and having them look very modern would look really nice. I also really like the very tall hat here. I should make his face a little bit longer. Maybe I should make them... I think making the nose much longer would be more fun than trying to make the lip stretch much higher. Okay, I like this design so far. This one is really speaking to me. Do we know okay, how is the bow making culture in Sierra Leone? Like, not every culture developed swords, for example, but maybe... I think most of them developed bows at some point. I'm guessing they're just gonna look like normal... more or less normal compound bows. Hang on. Sierra Leone bows. Or archery. As I thought, these are mostly modern archery associations. What's this dude doing? Okay, not to make huge assumptions, but I don't think this person's from Sierra Leone. Hmm. But yeah, I remember that the Mende people were... Yeah, the Temne and the Mende people were the predominant ones. Maybe there's more information about the Mende then. Do they have anything about archery on this page? Not much information about that. Yeah, I don't know. How about... Okay, yeah, I just want to make this person extremely long. Maybe a crossbow then, or I don't know. The problem is that bows often take like extreme, like people who use bows have to be very muscular. Is the thing, and this guy doesn't look like that. On the other hand, the idea is basically that this is like the money with soul, right? Or money that has a soul. So I think maybe it's more like a phantasmal thing than a physical arrow thing. Maybe that's why we can get away with me making this dude so noodle-like. But yeah, big fan of what I've done here, actually. Actually, were quivers in the back very frequent? Hang on. Quivers, styles, medieval era. Were back quivers used in the medieval period? From Reddit. See the Bayeux tapestry for an image of an archer with his arrow bag over his shoulder to back. That would have made them very difficult to get at. Usually they were used at an archer's side, or the arrows were stuck in the ground in front of the archer. Okay. Many Native American tribes used leather and basket-style quivers, including some styles hung over the back or the shoulder, as did samurai. Hold on. Pause. Samurai quiver. The yebira. Okay, this looks kind of interesting. Hang on. Yebira, ebira, and shiko are types of quiver used in Japanese archery. The quiver is unusual in that in some cases it may have open sides, while the arrows are held in the quiver by the tips which sit on and rest at the base of the ebira, and a rib that composes the upper part and keeps them in place. There are many types of ebira, some more ornate, some ceremonial, and some more plain. Other types of ebira are more substantial and more box-like, much like quivers from other countries. Traditionally used by samurai in combat or hunting, and is also used for ceremonial archery in modern-day Japan, such as yabusame. It could be quite decorative. It is completely different from the cylindrical yasutsu, which is only used for carrying kyudo arrows. Some Ebira could hold up to 3 dozen arrows. Utsubo, Yasutsu. And this is the Ebira. How strange. Oh, I see. So you keep the arrows in place from up there. And this one's the Shiko. I like the way that it's shaped at the side there. Very interesting form. Still, how would you get the arrows out of here, right? Unless the arrowhead was extremely thin, which it probably was, you wouldn't be able to pull it back up from up here. You kind of just have to maneuver it and then slide it all out. That doesn't sound particularly fun. Okay, let's try and use this one. Should we give this guy some more samurai-like qualities? Actually, having this heart up here might be interesting. No, that's too much. I think this guy should look unarmored. But still, he should have, from the back, or maybe slung down from his shoulder. I guess it'd be from the other shoulder, actually. Should we... Hang on, can we flip this guy around? I also don't want to give him legs, but... I don't know, maybe we can have just a little opening for legs. Boy, am I glad I don't have to draw the anatomy under the robes. That would suck. They seem to be going barefoot. So maybe just some pants under here and then super basic sandals. Brother is part of a mercenary group and he's wearing flip-flops. What's this guy's deal? Okay, these feet look very strange. Let's retry this. Actually, we can make these like Roman-style sandals too. Hang on. Just horrifically long feet. Although I do like the idea of these being leggings, actually, rather than the pants cutting off fully up there. I'm going to say that these back parts, that the kind of more angular parts back here are the back parts of the arrows. Okay, bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. So yeah, the idea is that he's going to take these arrows with soul and then he's going to fire them with the bow. I think that's a decent idea. I also like how insanely tall he is compared to the last guy. Okay, the big guy. This is just gonna be a huge Latina. Fuck it. And naturally, it's just going to be like a huge bronze hunk of metal. I just love Latina Sonic. You know, you're reading an excellent piece of media whenever a character is built like Noi from Dorohedoro. I do need to be careful, or else she's just gonna end up looking like a very buff version of May from Guilty Gear. Although there's no reason why we couldn't do that. Other than the fact that that's not what I intended for this character. The angle of the thingy here is not really matching up with what her hand placement is like. Let's try and experiment a little bit more with the angling of this. Okay, this one feels a little bit better. It doesn't feel like a Sunday today. Okay, then over here, these fingers are going to kind of curve on like this. And actually, maybe she can be the one who's, like, very into metallurgy. I think a funny concept for her character might be that she keeps making this thing here, her weapon, bigger by beating up other people and taking whatever bronze metal they have and smelting it onto it. Actually, that would be really awesome. Okay, here would be the rib cage, here would be the bottom half, here would be the midsection, and here would be the stomach. Actually, I might make this hand just a tiny bit bigger and move it down. Ah, yes, me, my squad mate, and her 300-pound metal axe-shaped blunt force weapon that she makes bigger after every time we fight someone who has like something that's made out of bronze on them. Sometimes the very best character design you can make is just a random person in jeans and a t-shirt. Kinoko Nasu understood this truth fundamentally, which is why he was able to make Aoko. I don't know. I do feel like it is a little bit lacking, though, in terms of just detail. I don't know. What could we give her to make her look more like she has an interest in blacksmithing stuff? I guess we could make her... Actually, wait, I have an idea. What if we gave her, like, those kinds of overall things and for the pants? There we go. Instantly much more readable as just a blacksmith person. I think I also wanted her to be able to throw it around on a rope, so I'm going to add that. I don't know, is there such a thing as blacksmithing shoes? Is that something that's... Hang on, is that something that's available for sale? If I look up blacksmithing shoes... Okay, I accidentally looked up blacksmithing shows, which just sent me to Forge and Fire. Blacksmith's Men's, Sparky... Steel Cap Works boots. Okay, now these are from a specific brand. But but generally the consensus does seem to be, yeah, boot. Which makes sense. Makes sense. Blacksmith making horseshoes. I like these leather chaps that they're... Oh, wait, no, that's for... that they're sanding it down. I see. What's this metal part here? That must be a metal insert to make sure that they don't accidentally, you know, Dremel off their upper thigh. That would be very painful. But I like the idea nevertheless. Let's add that to her design. I like to think that she maybe has shoes that are a little bit too loose or something. Like the boots aren't exactly a good fit. And maybe we could also give her like a couple of burn marks up here. She is very cute, though. I am very proud of how cute she came out. This, you know, I say that despite the fact that she's humongous, but like she is undeniably a cutie. Should I give her something for the arm, for the other arm as well? I think just giving her like much bigger muscle there. Or maybe she could have a tattoo. Or actually, hang on. What's the Spanish word for forge? Forja. Fundición puede ser. How about fundición? Manolo. And then we could have a little anvil sign here. I like this one. Okay, we're good with that one. Okay, then for the second in command, this one's going to be both the toughest and also kind of on the easier side, because we just need to look up like what ancient Thai historical dress was, or I guess in the Kingdom of Siam. History of Thailand. Here we go. Okay, I just started looking at the History of Thailand Wikipedia article, and then there's prehistory. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, look, there's a statue here. This is very clearly like the Neolithic age. Okay. Maybe we can skip a little bit further up. How about the Sukhothai Kingdom? Northern Thailand, Southern Thailand, Kra Isthmus. I mean, like, which historical use in Siam? Okay, but in which period? Okay, the earliest common use is from the Sukhothai Kingdom, 13th to 15th century. Okay, perfect. So I absolutely guessed it, but I did get there correctly. I closed my eyes and threw a dart at the board, and I hit the bullseye. A post-classical Siamese kingdom, also called a mandala, in mainland Southeast Asia. A romanization of the Thai word for the Royal Thai General System of Transcription. The Thai word for the historical country was a transliteration of the Khmer spelling, rendered in English as Sukhodaya. The Khmer term itself derived from the Sanskrit sukha, lasting happiness, and udaya, the rise or emergence. Together, the phrase can be interpreted as meaning dawn of happiness, baller move, I think if you name your kingdom anything, it should be that. It should be something like that. Like if you have to name a country, you want to name it something hopeful, right? Okay, formation, expansion, legacy, annexation, clothing, ancient ties, clothing and hairstyle, and Sukhothai era found in the wall. Okay, so from clothing, it doesn't seem to have much fabric per se. This Buddha statue is a little bit better, but even then, this guy must have had some pretty hard nipples. It's coming right through his kasaya. Tributary status. Is there any other hits for clothing? Or like cloth even? Okay. What about Sukhothai clothing on the Google? Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Alright, this is something. This is something. Okay. So it does seem very much to be this... Yeah, these just look like traditional clothing. Tie dress and Sukhothai era. I'd be fascinated if this is just what normal people wore. Probably not so many old filigree ornaments, right? Sukhothai period costume. It is interesting that there was a Buddha statue in that Wikipedia article that we looked at. So maybe they had some influence from India in regards for this one. Wait a minute, this is an AI generated one. No wonder it looks so weird. Damn it. I almost got. What's this one? This one looks significantly different. History of Thai clothing styles for kids. I mean, why not? What else we got? Traditional costumes vary. Early Ratanakosin. Modern Ratanakosin. Fascist Thailand. Contemporary Thai clothing. This does not have any information about the Sukhothai period. Awesome. Yeah, forget it. I'm better off just looking at the normal hits. But even then, that's not particularly helpful. Or is it? Okay, we're gonna have to how do we say, weigh our options to some degree. Not sure how precisely, but the general silhouette of the clothing style does seem to be, at the very least, sort of like this. So it's almost like a fabric type of tube top. Some kind of neck ornament. The big pointy upward hat. The problem is that we already had some other dude with a pointy hat in the group. This thing here. A bunch of side fabrics. A middle fabric. And bare feet. And for the guys, it was bare chested, but I'd rather have something on the chest for this one. It might actually be easier, since the second in command is supposed to be a foil to the leader, it might actually be easier to design the leader figure first. I'm going to think of the coin sword as kind of their trump card. I think their main thing is going to be having just knives, and also these spades. So maybe they're a shovel. Maybe they use a shovel but have knives on it. Or actually, hang on. I remember seeing a little while back, especially during the public domain image archive troll. Hang on, let me drink some water. We could almost make it like a sort of mace. Hang on. Types of flail. Here we go. A flail is a weapon consisting of a striking head attached to a handle by a flexible rope. This is kind of what I'm picturing, right? So it's like a shovel, but its head is made up of these knife money thingies. But it still has a shovel head. Okay, the chief tactical virtue of the flail is its capacity to strike around a defender's shield or parry. Its chief liability is its lack of precision and its difficulty of using it in close combat or closely ranked formations. A long two-handed infantry weapon with a cylindrical head, and a shorter weapon with a round metal striking head. The longer cylindrical-headed flail is a hand weapon derived from the agricultural tool of the same name, commonly used in threshing. Primarily considered a peasant's weapon, and while not common, they were deployed in Germany and Central Europe in the later Middle Ages. The smaller, more spherical-headed flail appears to be even less common. It appears occasionally in artwork from the 15th century onward, but many historians have expressed doubts that it ever saw use as an actual military weapon. Yeah, okay, this is kind of what I was picturing. But yeah, this is a one-handed flail. A two-handed flail with metal studs. Okay, here we go. What kind of head shape should we give this guy? I think the most important part is to have the flail first. Hang on. I have an idea for... I have a small idea for how to do this. So, idea one is to make the shovel part the... just normal, but have this have, like, a... Hang on. Like a knife kind of flail head. There we go. These have like these little markings near the bottom, so I'm going to add those. Great, okay. Okay, so here's the idea. It's going to be almost like a transforming weapon. The normal head is this one here that has like the flail, but the alternative way to wield it is to switch it out and add the spade, so it almost becomes like a monk's spade kind of weapon. And it can have like a stake driven through it that is used to swap out the heads. Then finally, there is a trump card, which is this coin sword. Or maybe that could just be a talisman the guy wears. Hang on. What about, like... Is there, like, Chinese peasant working clothes? There is hanfu, but that doesn't seem like what you would wear to... You would wear around just to work around with. Those looked fairly valuable. Hmm. Okay, so maybe like the Qing Dynasty peasant clothing here. There's actually a few examples that I am leaning toward here. Particularly this guy in the middle who has one of those like weighted things on his shoulder. I like this kid who's just playing with this toy card. That's very cute. Hmm. This idea of having the short sleeves over the long sleeves might actually be pretty good. Okay, I can feel it formulating, actually. I do think it would be kind of funny to make the leader look the most like a bum. I also don't know what gender I want to make them. Let's make them a girl. I also want to give them wacky proportions like I did some of the other ones, but it's kind of hard to think about like what to give them to make it that way. And actually, before I forget, I want to go back to the first guy and make sure that it's clear that he has a hunch. I'm pretty sure if you have a hunchback, you're not supposed to rust stuff on top of it, but it works here. Okay. But yeah, I almost kind of wanted to make them like a Midwestern emo-looking motherfucker with the sleeves over the shirt, but with a little bit of like modern emo-ness to it. The problem is that was the only example that I could find of people who had that sort of style. Everyone else just has normal sleeves or normal long sleeves. Like take this guy. He does have that shit on though. It is difficult to disagree. What if we make her almost like a granny kind of character? Like it's like an older lady. Okay, yeah, hang on. I can feel I know I said like Midwestern emo. Maybe we can still retain a degree of that though. Actually, hang on. What was the old lady character from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? What was her name? Or is she around here? Not the heroic old lady, the evil old lady. Very important distinction. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, plot. Li Mubai is a renowned Wudang swordsman, right? And his friend Yu Shu Lian, a warrior, has a private security company, right? Blah, blah, blah. Green Destiny to their benefactor Sir Te in Beijing, right? Jade Fox, that's the one. Hang on, do we have any good pictures of her? I could just open up one of the fights from the movie and just take a screenshot of that. That's what I'll do. Here we go, this could work. So yeah, it'd be like Jade Fox, but with like a more... with like less obsession about martial arts and more so obsessed with money, I think. Maybe it's a granny trying to bribe her way into heaven. The eyes are messing me up though. I don't like those eyes for her. Maybe we can make them longer though. Okay, that's kind of a scary looking face actually, with the glowing eyes and everything. Actually, you know what would probably make it look really good? What if she had like a very youthful twinkle in her eye? Actually, yeah, that's very charming. Hang on, that could that completely turns the character around. Wait, this rules actually. What if she is like a very old lady, right? By this point, she's been adventuring for a while, but she is like hoping to get enough money to bribe her way into heaven. But at the same time, she is just like Monkey D. Luffy as well. Like she's just endlessly positive. Well, I guess Luffy's thing isn't really positivity. He just likes having fun. We can give her like a big ol'... Hang on, what was Lily's hat from Fallout New Vegas? Lily Bowen, here we go. She's the one that I think of when I think of like grandma-like characters. She has a very cute hat. Like almost like a gardening hat. And that could tie into the whole spade thing. The only issue is that then I don't know how to give her more hair. Or maybe I should just go wild. Or actually, hang on. What is like the old lady hair? Maybe we should give her curls. Actually, I think that would be a really good idea. Give her like a perm. And she has just a spade in front of her usually. So maybe the gardening gloves, of course. Okay, it's coming together. It's coming together. So maybe the spade is the stand is how she uses it normally, but then she switches to the head with the knife money when shit gets serious. This is actually coming along really well. Okay, maybe reducing the size of the hands just a tiny bit. They are supposed to be... It is supposed to be wearing gardening gloves, but maybe it doesn't need to be that big. And it also works well with that idea that we had earlier with the long sleeve under the short sleeve, because I don't know. Asian grannies tend to have a big emphasis on covering their arms. Like I remember seeing pictures of this like Korean old women's hiking group that used to wear these arm warmers over their arms whenever they went hiking. Her head looks a little strange. She needs a neck. It is really... I do like the idea that her eyes are just full of youth. The lighting on this version of it is kind of terrible. I can't really tell what's going on underneath the outer robe. Maybe some big old knee pads just so that she doesn't need to worry when she crouches down. And I do think the coin sword is basically going to be their trump card. I think she has it on her, but she doesn't really pull it out unless it's an emergency. Her head needs to be just a tiny bit smaller. I also stopped doing the thing where I assigned colors to the different characters. That was my bad. I should have kept doing that, but it's fine. Literally no big deal. Okay, and I think since the leader is like a very old lady, right? I think the second in command should be a more useful one. So definitely kind of like a kind of like a bratty person, I think. So maybe we keep the traditional tie hat thing that we have from the research that we conducted. Hang on. Thai traditional clothing Wikipedia. I need to stop over relying on Wikipedia, but it is basically the best source that I have. In most regards. If anything else, it gives us a good stepping stone. Okay. Fanong. Savai. Shawl-like garment or breast cloth. Sabai can be used by women or men. The sabai is known as a long piece of silk about a foot wide, draped diagonally around the chest. Oh, this is the sabai. Do we have any from the... Hang on. The banong is a type of blouse traditionally worn by women in the southern province borders. Formal costume. History of Thai clothing. Formal national costume. Very flattering silhouette on that, I do have to say. Chongkrabin. Cambodian unisex. Okay, Cambodian though. Sukhothai clothing became the fashion of 13th to 15th century. Okay, Sukhothai men's clothing was simple, full-sleeved top with a long V-shaped neck and a cloth brace on the shoulders. The loincloth was made of silk with a big metal or golden belt. Women's clothing was a long silk sarong with flowers painted on it. The top normally is a full-sleeve silk cloth. Married women wore one cloth draped around the breasts made of silk or other fabric. And that does kind of match what we were looking at earlier. I mean, kinda. Women's clothing was a long silk sarong. Hang on. Sarong. Oh, okay. Tube or length of fabric. Yep. Okay. This is more or less what I understood from that. Long silk sarong with flowers painted on it. The top is normally a full-sleeved silk cloth. Married women wore one cloth draped around the breasts made of silk or other fabric. So it looks like in that other search result, they were just kind of bullshitting me for no reason, huh? I mean, to some extent, though. Like, these don't really have flowers painted on them, but then again, Wikipedia could be in the wrong. I was mostly interested in the hat, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to know if the hat was in play or not. Hang on, Sukhothai clothing gallery, maybe? Ayutthaya period, Sukhothai period, characterized by great cultural prosperity under the Sukhothai kingdom. During this era, Thai people preferred wearing minimal clothing. Common men and women typically did not wear shirts. Instead, they wore a single piece of cloth wrapped around the body. Okay, men favored both short and long loincloths. Short for the general population, and longer ones with a front tug or side hem for the elite. Worn with a belt and without a shirt. Women commonly wore jongkraben, or loincloth, for ordinary people, while noble women preferred ankle-length layered cloth. Okay, we have a new lead. Jongkraben. Those are just pants. Those were the... Wait, those were literally the pants that we were looking at earlier. Hang on. Or wait, no. This is from the... Hang on. Sampa Chongben. Okay, is there... Thailand, where there's known respectively as Phahang and Chongkraben. I see. So it was kind of co-opted a little bit. I can work with this, probably. Okay, I have an idea for how to work with it, at least. I had like such a strong vision for the head in particular. So let's start with the pants, though. We now have a determined lead on the pants, if nothing else. Maybe like a star pattern there. Maybe smaller too. Big old pants. Hang on, maybe we could do like... No, that's making the problem worse. Actually, couldn't we use one of these bullet currency thingies for that? It'll look a little bit like a Metroid. Okay, 1, 2, 2. 1 big smile thingy and 2. That's kind of how it is, a little bit. I'm imagining almost like skater slip-ons for this one. Hang on. Slip-on skate shoots. Yeah, just like kind of ridiculously big shoes on this otherwise small person. Also, the pants don't look precisely right. I think having the upward fold like that is a bit much. Maybe make it a little wider as well. And then up here. What actually might be better is if we made this at the midsection. Because these are usually at the waist, but I think maybe we can get away with having it be a little bit further up. So maybe a little bit closer to here. No, that doesn't really do much. Maybe I just need to add a little bit more slack to the top. I think that might be what's throwing me off here. Or no. Hang on, I think I know what it is. I'm adding too much slack at the bottom. I'm adding too much slack at the bottom at the bottom of the pants. Okay. Is there like, hang on, do I have something like tie headwear? The makuta. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Variously known as the several languages as makuta, makota, magaik, mokot, monkut, or chada, is a type of headdress used as crowns in the Southeast Asian monarchies of today's Cambodia and Thailand, and historically in Indonesia. They are also used in classical court dances in Cambodia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. I see. Tall, pointed shape. Lalita Vistara bas relief. Of Borobudur describing devas wearing Jata Makuta. Delighted listening to Dharma. 9th century Java. Okay. In Thailand, the headdress is known by two names, Chada and Mongkut, and feature a distinctive tall, pointed shape which is probably acquired from the Lompok, a pointed cloth headdress of Persian origin during the Ayutthaya period. In the Thai classical dance traditions of Kon and the various forms of Lakon, the Chada is worn by male characters of royal status, while the Mongkut is worn by females. There are many variants of Chada and Mongkut, reflecting the status of the wearer as well as the occasion. As a symbol of divinity, the Mongkut often appears in the iconography of the Buddha and in artistic depictions of Devata. As a symbol of kingship, the Great Crown of Victory forms part of the regalia of Thailand. I see. So it looks like we'd be looking for a Mongkut since this one's going to be a girl. Mongkut crown. They were not kidding about how tall and pointy this thing was. Look at that thing. Very impressive. Then again, it is mainly apparently supposed to be used for dance. But I just like the idea of this tiny gremlin kind of character wearing one of these things. I think it'd go really well with the kind of eyes that I've just given them. Hang on. But yeah, it looks like they'd have to be training as dancers in order to wear it properly. I feel like I should make the buckle just a tiny bit smaller. I think that's what's throwing off the proportion more than anything. Or actually, hang on. Do we have an idea of like what a traditional Thai helmet would look like? So maybe we can make it a cross between those. Okay, these are motorcycle helmets. Not quite what I was thinking. Thai armor. Oh, okay, hang on. Wait. Hell yeah, these dudes got that shit on! Okay, very interesting. I like the addition of the ear guards for the helmet. I might actually go for one like this. Or maybe even a cross between them. So maybe the helmet has like parts here, but it also has something like this. This thing looks so awesome. I really hang on. I might have just become a new fan of Thai armor. I don't know. Something about it is very captivating. It does resemble East Asian armors, but it has I don't know. It's so much smoother. I think what's appealing about it is its lack of thousands of tiny little rivets or stuff like that that usually Chinese or Japanese armor have. I can't speak much about Korean armor. I don't know what that looks like very much. Hell yeah. God, this is such an this headgear is nothing to mess with. I am deeply affected by it. Maybe replacing the oversized skater shoes with like less vertical versions of themselves. And the reason that I wanted to make her look so ominous like this is actually I might remove the ear flaps. Actually, yeah, I think the shape works much better without the ear flaps. Deeply in love with this helmet. I cannot overstate how much I like this helmet. And I think the best idea for her is to just straight up give her a gun. Like, fuck it, let's give her... what is the biggest shotgun that we can think of? Big... What's it called? Like, when you have to... when you have to, like, break the shotgun in two to reload it? Big... not manual. Hang on, analog shotgun? Willie Nelson Shotgun Willie AP, 2 LPs, 45 RPM, sealed. That's not what I'm looking for. Hang on, shotgun Wikipedia. Wikipedia is such a goddamn cornerstone of my life. It's not even funny. Without exaggeration, where would I be? Breech loaded, that's the one. I think. Break action. No, that's what I'm thinking of. Form of a combination gun. A firearm that usually comprises at least one rifled barrel and one smoothbore barrel. Typically used as shot or sometimes a shotgun slug. Most of break-action guns, although there have been other designs as well. Combination guns using one rifled and one smoothbore barrel are commonly found in over and under configuration, while the side-by-side configuration is usually referred to as a cape gun. A combination gun with more than two barrels is called a drilling, with 3 barrels, a Vierling with 4 barrels, and a Fünfling with 5 barrels. I don't think there's anything fun about this particular fling, German language. Combination guns generally use rimmed cartridges, as rimless cartridges are usually more difficult to extract from break-action firearms. Makes sense. Hang on. Let me pull up the pictures here. A picture showing typical combination gun top, drilling, middle, and Vierling, bottom barrel layouts. Ah, okay, so the big 2 ones are smoothbore, but the 2 smaller ones are rifling. Okay, these guns are almost exclusively hunting arms. The advantage of having a single firearm that can fire both cartridges designed for rifled and smoothbore barrels is that a single gun can be used to hunt a wide variety of game, from deer to game birds, and the shooter can choose the barrel appropriate for the target in seconds. As a result, they are popular with gamekeepers who often need the flexibility of a combination gun during their activities. What the fuck is that thing? Hang on. Are there any shotguns that were designed and made in Thailand? List of equipment in the Royal Thai Army. Here we go. Submachine gun, assault rifle, sniper rifle, machine gun, grenade launchers, anti-tank, shotgun. Control F. Wait, whoops. Hang on, I might have messed something up. I think I might have been in OBS. Hang on, transform. Reset transform. There we go. Let me just reposition that real quick. That should make it a little bit easier. All right, back to work. Shotgun. Oh, here we go. The Daewoo uses 12, the fucking automatic one? Are you insane? Holy shit. Okay, the model 10100. Okay, so they use Remingtons mostly, and apart from the beast that is the Daewoo. I don't know how to customize that to make it look more her, though. Maybe it can have a... I'm just laughing so much at this face. I might actually extend the crown past the rim of the hat. Yeah, I think giving a pump action shotgun to the very short person is hilarious. Why not? But I do really want to give her like a break action one though. I don't know. Maybe we should go for the for like a break action one instead. Let's take another look at that page about combination guns. Over under designs such as the Savage Model 24, usually with a rifled barrel. Okay, an interesting combination gun is the United States Air Force M6 Aircrew Survival Weapon, and its civilian version, the Springfield Armory M6 Scout, an all-metal folding combination gun in 22 Hornet over 410 bore, or 22 long rifle over 410 bore. Let's take a look at this monstrosity. Huh. It is also made in 22 silver rifle. Characteristics. Virtually identical to the original Ithaca M6 Aircrew Survival Weapon. Oh, these are made by the Ithaca guys. The original, blah, blah, blah. A squeeze bar trigger intended for use by aircrew who might be downed in any type of weather and terrain. The trigger, hammer, and barrel latch are designed to be easily operated while wearing heavy gloves or mittens. To this end, the USAF Ithaca M6 is the only firearm issued to American forces that has no trigger guard. Oh my god. Wait. What? The amount of pressure needed to release the sear, combined with the practice of keeping the hammer uncocked unless preparing to fire, was considered sufficient to counter any risk of accidental discharge. The Springfield Armory version included a large, oversized trigger guard. That's what this thing is. But no, usually it'll just be this thing here. That's just a trigger? That's fucked up. That's so... Oh yeah, you can see that here. Oh my god. Why would you do that? Why? Oh my god. I know next to nothing about guns, and even I know that's a bad idea. Like, you can have all the you can always say like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. You have to take all these steps, all these other steps to do it. You are you are out of your goddamn mind. Okay. Foon Flings are an extremely rare type of combination gun because of its greater complexity of joining a compilation of 5 separate smoothbore and rifle barrels together with a single firearm design. Some of these layouts include a single smoothbore shotgun barrel on top of 2 rifle calibers side by side, an over and under configuration, or 2 smoothbore blah blah blah. Okay, not much about that. Hang on. Bring me back to the Thai Royal Armory. Maybe we can give her a grenade launcher instead. Single shot underbarrel grenade launcher. The M79. Okay, now we're talking. Now you're speaking my language. I actually think this one would look pretty great with her current appearance, because I think like the fact that the stock looks like it's almost inverted would fit it very well. Fit very well with the hat design. Okay. Its distinctive report has earned it colorful nicknames. Hang on, blah blah blah. A high-low propulsion system to keep recoil forces low and first appeared during the Vietnam War. Its distinctive report has earned it colorful nicknames such as the Thumper, Thump Gun, Bloop Tube, Big Ed, Elephant Gun, and Blooper, as well as the Cannon in reference to the grenade size. Australian units refer to it as the Wombat Gun. That's very Australian of them. I see. Okay. You're speaking my language. I understand. So maybe instead of having these smaller bullets, what we could have are like really big 40mm ones. I don't think they'd be that big, though. Would they be? Hang on. How big is a fort? Obviously, it's 40mm in some capacity, but like... Hang on. 40 by 46mm grenade. Okay, so it's about you could probably palm one of those things pretty easily. So it's about palm sized. So probably around this big. I think I will also give her like some big bangles. Oh my god. I got an idea for how to do this. Hmm. Okay, and then what we do is we grab this part. Make it just a tiny bit bigger. This looks kind of ridiculous. Okay, put the opacity back in, and there we go. Okay, and then put the arm over here. Perfect. This is really goofy looking, but I really like it. I also want to have the hang on, the 40mm grenades have the same the same kind of grub shape. If anybody says that they look like Amoguses, I'm going to launch a grenade in their general direction. If they've lived with virtue and paid attention, they'll live. Hang on, I might just actually hang on. I might make them like this instead. I think like without the helmet, she actually just has really big bangs as well. Okay, just a little bit like this. Alright, well that took a lot of research, but I think we have the lineup pretty much figured out. Now all that's left is to put them together. I do like the idea that the girl with the grenade launcher is technically the youngest one in the group, but everybody else is like in their mid to late 30s, or the grandma who's in her, I'm going to say like 70s maybe. So it would be funniest if like she is technically the youngest in the group and she does have a very youthful face, but she is also very much not a not a child by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to really like how this turns out, I feel like. I feel like we could just like leave her as is in terms of just sheer size, actually. Like, I need to put her over here. Okay, then the emotional support. He can go somewhere around here. He does have to be shorter than the ginormous woman, though, but I feel like that's going to be like a relative thing. And then the brainy one. Nice, okay. And we can just bring this leg up just a tiny bit. Alright, so here's what let's do. I'm going to use the wand tool with close gap. Invert that, and then right underneath that, I'm going to add a bit of gray paint. Okay, we can remove a little bit from the sneakers here. Okay, that should be pretty good. There we go. I like the idea that she is also trained to do, like, dancing, but she mostly prefers to just fight. Okay. Subtract that selection right here. And get rid of these other two for the time being. Okay. So what should we... That works. What's the Chinese word for grandma? I remember there's one for the paternal side and the maternal side. Okay. Nai Nai, commonly used to refer to one's maternal grandmother. Nai Nai. Nai Nai it is. Okay, here's a big Greek guy. Take out part of this and part of that. Okay, then over here. I should do it. Wrong layer. Oh, which is one? Which is this one? The left or the right? The left boot is non-selected. Let's call this guy Maze, in terms of like the nickname. And then there's a big lady. Hmm. Oh, I'm using refer to editing layer only. So silly of me. Nice, okay. And let's call her Hammer. I see I've missed a couple of spots here and there. I think I missed a spot here and there. But that's fine. Very easily repaired. Let's give Hammer slightly darker tone because she's blending in too much with Nai Nai. Okay, for the group photo, let's merge that. Increase the contrast between them. And then assign them a color using a gradient map. That's a bit loud. And I see that we also need to give Hammer and... Hang on. Hammer and Cupid slightly even more differentiated tones. Okay. Merge these together. I should save my work. Alright, increase the contrast once again. Maybe I should also increase the brightness a little bit. And then we can lower the brightness on... I really wish I stopped merging the layers. Ah, screw it. Let's just go with this. We can also play around with the gradient mapping to make sure they play nice. This one might work. Actually, never mind. I like this one better. Hang on, let me do one more thing. Merge selected layers. Tonal correction. Binarization. There we go, and then convert brightness to opacity. And then Gaussian blur. There we go. I think these look really well together. I do like that there's a good mix of, you know, big bodies, small bodies, skinny bodies. I feel like there doesn't feel like there's a strong cohesion between them, but that's fine. That's a little bit secondary. Okay. I think that's going to do it for today, actually. I don't know what else we can do. We've been going for a while. Is anybody streaming today? Nah, we can... Yeah, I think V probably wrapped up her Virtue's Last Awards. Oh, wait, I think she might have canceled that, actually. But, yeah, other than that, thank you very much for stopping by. I always appreciate it. I'll be streaming sometime next week. I'm not sure when. I might have to do a calendar on Monday. But stay safe, and yeah, have fun this week. I hope it goes well. Talk to you later. Bye.